This meeting is now called to order. This meeting of the Onondaga County Legislature is being called to order at 1:06 p.m. on February 3rd, 2026. Will the clerk please call the roll?
Legislator May? Here. Meaker?
Here.
Byrd?
Here.
Thompson? Here. Block?
Legislator Block is absent.
Eriksen? Romeo?
Here.
Ryan?
Here.
Denton?
Here.
McCarran?
Here.
Knapp?
Here.
Bush? Here. Kelly? Here. Brown?
Here.
Garland? Here. Hernandez?
Here.
Chairwoman?
Here.
16 present, 1 absent.
Please stand for the invocation by Legislator Meaker and remain standing for the salute of the flag by Legislator Garland.
Heavenly Father, we thank you for the privilege to serve and for your faithfulness in our lives. We give you all the glory, honor, and praise. Grant us wisdom, unity, and courage as we lead, and may our actions bring honor to your name. In Jesus' name, amen.
The first order of business is the approval of the minutes from the previous session. Are there any corrections to the minutes? Seeing none, the minutes are approved. Are there any communications to be presented?
As listed on the agenda.
Thank you. At this time, I would like to invite Leader Hernandez and her distinguished guests for a presentation regarding the first gold seal item on our agenda.
So anyone that's in the room that's being honored today because you became the first Black public servant in Onondaga County, please come to the front.
Will the Deputy Clerk please read the seal?
A golden seal to commemorate a century of Black History First in Onondaga County Public Service. Whereas each year, the Association for the Study of African American Life and History, founded by Dr. Carter G. Woodson, selects a theme to promote the education, research, and recognition of Black contribution in life, history, and global culture. And whereas, in observance of the theme this year, a century of Black history commemoration, marking 100 years since the founding of Black History Month in 1926, we recognize the achievements of Black public servants in Onondaga County, including but not limited to. Whereas William Herbert Johnson was the first African American to graduate from Syracuse University's College of Law in 1903, and whereas Marjorie Carter was the first Black teacher in the Syracuse City School District in 1950, and whereas Willie B. Gilbert was the first African-American Syracuse police officer in 1951, and whereas Chester Whiteside was the first Black disc jockey, television commentator, and appointed Black Syracuse firefighter in 1954, and whereas Malchester Reeves became the first Black elected official in Syracuse in 1961, and whereas Clarence Junie Dunham was the first Black man elected to Onondaga County Legislature in 1973, and whereas Constance Timberlake was the first Black woman elected to Syracuse Board of Education in 1973, and whereas Cassandra Jones Ingram was the first Black woman to serve in the Syracuse Police Department in 1981, and whereas Herman Edge became the first African-American Deputy Chief of the Syracuse Police Department in 1986, and whereas Honorable Langston C. McKinney was appointed Syracuse's first Black City Court Judge in 1986, And whereas Honorable Sandra Towns was Syracuse's first Black woman elected to city court in 1988, and whereas Danita Thomas was the first Black woman to serve in the Syracuse Fire Department in 1988, and whereas Lily Fields was the first Black principal in the Liverpool Central School District in 1989, and whereas Lovely Winslow became the first Black woman to become a county legislator in 2000, and whereas Bia Gonzalez was the first Black Hispanic person to hold citywide office in Syracuse when she was elected to city school board in 1991, and the first Latina president of the Syracuse Common Council in 2001, and whereas Samuel D. Roberts was the first Black person to represent Onondaga County in the New York State Assembly, and whereas Pamela J. Hunter was the first Black woman to represent the 128th District in New York State Assembly, and whereas Linda Irvin was the first Black woman to serve as minority leader on the Onondaga County Legislature, on the Jamesville DeWitt Board of Education, and serve as president of the Board of Education, whereas Mary Smith was the first Black woman promoted to the rank of sergeant on the Onondaga County Sheriff's Office in 2014, and whereas Honorable Gordon Cuffey was the first appointed Black Court of Claims acting Supreme Court Justice in 2017, and whereas Helen Hudson was the first Black woman elected Syracuse Common Council president in 2018, and whereas Michael Mons was appointed as the first Black fire chief in Syracuse Fire Department in 2018, and whereas Tamika Barnett was promoted as the first female Black lieutenant of the Syracuse Fire Department in 2021, and whereas Patricia McBride was appointed the first Black city clerk in Syracuse in 2022, and whereas Pastor Alex Bernard was elected as the first Black DeWitt Town Board member in 2024, and whereas Sharon Owens was elected as Syracuse's first Black mayor in 2025, whereas Cecina Adams was appointed as the first Black Onondaga County Legislature clerk in 2026, and whereas Nodija Hernandez was appointed as majority leader of the Onondaga County Legislature in 2026, and whereas Cheryl McDonald was the first Black woman appointed to the North Syracuse School Board in 2026, and now, therefore, be it resolved that Leader Nodisha R. Hernandez and all members of the Onondaga County Legislature do hereby recognize and honor the 100th anniversary of Black History Month.
I want to say thank you to everyone who listened to that history with us today. As you can see, we are present and vibrant in Onondaga County. Today marks 100 years of honoring Black History Month in the country. Black history is American history, and Onondaga County Black history dates back to Isaac Wells, who was recognized as one of the first known Black residents of what became Syracuse, New York, arriving in 1810 as an enslaved person from Mississippi. He purchased his freedom for $80 with funds earned while working on our historical Erie Canal. Representation directly influences what laws get written. The first wave of Black elected officials in the country, particularly during the Reconstruction era, championed policies that benefited the entire population, not just our own communities. These policies included public education, establishing the first state-funded public school systems in the South, civil rights legislation, pushing for equal access to public transportation and accommodations, labor reform, advocating for fair wages and land ownership rights. I turn to y'all today to say thank you for being trailblazers and being the voice for other Black Americans in this country and being Black history in Onondaga County. Congratulations.
Yeah. Yeah.
Thank you. Continuing, may I invite Legislator Brown in the absence of Legislator Block and his distinguished guests regarding the second gold seal on our agenda. Will the Deputy Clerk please read the seal?
Hello? Okay. I would like to invite the folks from CERDN, the Syracuse Immigrant Refugee Defense Network, to come up here and be honored. Thank you. Come on. Send you guys on the flag. Come on down. Come on down. Everyone. Slide over. We want to on the flag. Oh, too. Good to see you. Will the Deputy Clerk read the roll?
A gold seal to honor the Rapid Response Coalition protecting Onondaga County refugees and immigrant communities. Whereas New York State is home to more than 4 million immigrants, representing nearly 23% of the state's population, contributing $68 billion in taxes and an estimated $153 billion in spending power, according to the Pew Research Center. And whereas immigrants make up more than 60% of home health care workers and aides for the elderly, seek portable professions such as nursing assistants, childcare workers, and construction workers, and fill critical, hard-to-fill jobs in New York. And whereas Onondaga County is a multicultural community with approximately 35,000 residents self-reporting as born outside the United States, 26% identifying as Black, Hispanic, or Asian, according to the 2020 U.S. Census American Community Survey. And whereas soon after taking office, the President of the United States signed several executive orders granting Immigration and Customs Enforcement, ICE, broad authority to pursue, detain, and deport immigrants, which has resulted in aggressive enforcement towards minority groups and non-minority citizens alike. And whereas, in response, community-based groups across the country had built coalitions to deploy rapid response aid to affected communities by offering legal clinics and Know Your Rights workshops, deploying rapid response hotlines, and advocating state-level protections and providing food, transportation, and counseling assistance to neighbors. And whereas the Syracuse Immigrant and Refugee Defense Network is part of a nationwide network of innovative worker centers advocating for immigration justice in Central New York, and through organizing and solidarity support for affected individuals and families. And whereas CERDN's, the Worker Center, and local coalitions are a lifeline for immigrant residents who strive to build a better life in Onondaga County. Now, therefore, be it resolved that Legislator Ellen Block and all members of the Onondaga County Legislature do hereby recognize and honor the extraordinary work of the Syracuse Immigration and Refugee Defense Network.
Thank you. Thank you. I want to thank you all for being here. Before I ask you to speak, Mr. Brockway, this is what allyship looks like. This is what it looks like. Like, we are in a time of crisis, and you all are stepping up to meet the moment. I live right across the street from All Saints Church, so I get to, visit the Know Your Rights workshops. But this is what it looks like when, we are a nation of immigrants. We are a community of immigrants from the Jerry Rescue back then. This community has been built on people meeting the moment in the way that you guys are today. So it is with great honor that I'm able to present this to you all and, support the work that you're doing, or at least recognize it. Please keep up the work that you're doing. It's so crucial to our community. You guys are a part of the fabric of Central New York, of Onondaga County. So from me and the rest of the county legislature, I just want to say thank you for the work that you're doing.
Hello, do they like me better? Oh, apparently, okay.
CERDN was founded in 2016 in the wake of the first Trump election in cooperation with the Workers' Center of Central New York and the Syracuse Peace Council as a vehicle to support immigrant communities that would be targeted by the regime. This support took and continues to take a number of forms, including rapid response to assist affected persons caught in ICE's operations, direct support for at-risk individuals and families, including providing rides, food delivery, accompaniment to court and check-in appointments, among many others, and advocacy for policies that will protect their families and ensure their welfare in our community. As just one example of this advocacy, CERDN worked closely with allied organizations to ultimately help pass New York's Green Light Law in 2019 that allowed all New Yorkers, regardless of immigration or citizenship status, to obtain driver's licenses, a law that both increased public safety while further welcoming immigrants into our communities. CERDN has seen rapid growth since the 2024 election, along with the diversification of our work assisting immigrant communities. This includes fundraising for local organizations that seek to help immigrant communities, a public-facing component to raise awareness about threats posed by the regime and express our concerns through protests and action, education campaigns to spread awareness through Know Your Rights training, Neighborhood Watch, and how to report ICE sightings, and support for those in detention who are often difficult to locate. CERDN is made up of a diverse group of people from all walks of life, but united in our commitment to resist efforts to target and harm our immigrant neighbors, families, and friends. Our most fundamental principle, though, is to listen to affected people who are themselves best situated to know what they need and then do our best to help however we can. And then I just wanted to briefly mention a couple of words about making Onondaga County a Fourth Amendment county. The Fourth Amendment protects everyone in our community from illegal and dangerous actions by the federal government. Federal law enforcement officers from across the country with no connection to Onondaga County are policing our streets and arresting our neighbors, often without warrants or probable cause. In other cities, we have seen federal immigration agents are illegally entering private businesses and residents without identifying themselves, arresting and assaulting citizens for exercising their First and Second Amendment rights, and clashing with peaceful protesters. This lawlessness and violence has no place in our county. Federal immigration enforcement operations threaten our community members and put local law enforcement in the crossfire. Federal agents rarely inform local law enforcement of their activities, potentially dangerous situations for community members and local law enforcement. Unscrupulous actors can easily impersonate federal law enforcement, or local law enforcement may be misidentified as federal law enforcement. We are asking the Onondaga County Legislature and Ryan McMahon to do everything in your power to protect our community and preserve the rule of law by making our county a Fourth Amendment county. We can require a judicial warrant for federal law enforcement on county property and county buildings, require federal law enforcement to inform local law enforcement of any enforcement operations, require all law enforcement officers to clearly identify themselves with their name, badge number, and agency, prohibit the use of face masks or disguises in enforcement operations unless necessary to protect officer physical safety, such as gas masks in a drug enforcement raid, and create a task force to inform local businesses, organizations, and communities of their constitutional rights under the Fourth Amendment. Thank you.
Everybody give a round of applause for the members of...
Thank you, Legislator Brown. Please find additional communications listed on the agenda. Moving on, are there any speakers for public comment? I have the list here. We have 3 speakers today signed up for public comment. Please remember that there are 5 minutes maximum allotted per speaker. It's also requested that speakers remain relevant to the items on the agenda. And finally, it is requested that all speakers share a copy of their remarks with the clerk for their records. First up, we have Jonathan Parent, followed by Deb Kululunas. Please come to the podium to speak. So you already gave your, okay, fantastic. Deb Kululunas. And next up will be Tom Law. Deb Carolunas. I do not see. We will move on to Tom Law.
I'm not a stranger to the legislature, but glad for a little flip to the Democrats in terms of just a different voice, I guess, an alternate voice. My comments have to do with the pre-industrial treatment plant that supposedly is going to cost $1 billion. And I've got about 5 points to make in that regard. The first is really that I don't really know how frequent a county has done a pre-industrial treatment, small plant, mini plant, large plant. So in my own mind, I consider this somewhat unusual in terms of it's kind of like a give me that has a danger attached. The risk is that the county being in charge of this and assigning a user's fee in some sense is not necessarily an arm's length deal because it's kind of a gimme to Micron in terms of we'll take care of your biggest problem, which is polluting the Great Lakes and the Atlantic Ocean, which is a pretty big deal, isn't it? It's a big St. Lawrence, it's a big Atlantic Ocean, it's one of the Great Lakes. And locally, to point it a little more directly, the intake of Onondaga County Aqua is probably 27,000 feet from the end of the Oswego River at Oswego Harbor. So we've got the effluent mix in 27,000 feet away, roughly. I'm not sure of that, within a few thousand feet. We've got the intake for, what, half the population of central New York for their water. So the question becomes of potable water purity and long-term health, as well as some species suffering ecocide, you could call it, in terms of some species of aquatic life might really not do too well with the effluent. So that has to do with the effluent discharge permit. Of course, the DEC is going to have criteria in the effluent discharge permit, but the question still remains of what is the chemistry? This is kind of a clinical chemistry environmental experiment. And I'll say that chemistry for most of us is invisible. So it's not, the chemistry isn't going to come out of the river, the Oswego River, and hammer us on the head and say, I'm a little off today, I'm in a bad mood. Could somebody give me something for this? It's a little different than that. And I'll give you the visual that last night I was watching, catching up, I'd never seen it very often, the Chosen episode, the biblical Chosen series, in which Christ puts his hand in a jar of water and turns it into wine. Well, we're kind of going in the opposite direction here. We're kind of taking Great Lakes water and putting our thumb in it and questioning what's going to come off our thumb. And it's not going to be a miracle. I know I haven't got forever, so this is an international question as far as I'm concerned, and as complicated as it is, as chemistry is. I'll mention this, I did just a little bit of Googling, and there are 35,000 wastewater permits issued, I don't know, in the last 30, 50 years. That's a little bit of an education, but probably none of those is sufficient to address what Onondaga County and me are taking on with a pre-industrial wastewater treatment plant of this volume and this chemistry. So there's a lot going on. And considering something else that is somewhat related, it might not be directly on today's, but it relates to the environment in a way, and maybe the water system too, is the article on New York State farm stress that was in yesterday's Post-Standard. And that's an ongoing
Mr.
problem.
Wall?
I come from a farm family.
Thank
you. But focusing on that industrial pretreatment plant, that is a big, big skill curve right there.
Thank you very much. And we will have more opportunity for public comment at the upcoming public hearing that is on our agenda, so encourage you to, and any legislator who wishes to learn more, see Mr. Law directly. Are there any other speakers who wish to give comment? Seeing none, the public comment period is now closed. The clerk will now begin the calling of the districts, starting with District 2.
District 2, Mr. Meaker.
None.
District 3, Mr. Byrdis.
None.
District 4, Mr. Thompson.
None.
District 5, Ms. Block.
None.
District 6, Mr. Eriksen.
I rise to offer item 1.
A resolution calling a public hearing in connection with Oak Orchard Industrial Sewer District within the Onondaga County Consolidated Sanitary District.
Legislator Eriksen?
Thank you. This came before the Environmental Protection Committee at our last meeting, and this resolution was, again, in connection with the proposed industrial wastewater district that will be in connection with the municipal wastewater treatment plant expansion that was before the legislature in December. This is the industrial component of that project. This resolution will set down a public hearing for that proposal.
Thank you. Is there any discussion? Legislator Kelly.
Chairwoman, I want to say I find it very regrettable that members of the public were unable to access the minutes for January committees until yesterday, the day before February session. We should recognize that people who want to be informed about the votes that we'll take today lead busy lives. They may not have time to check the legislative website every day like I have these last 2 weeks. Our voters demand transparency. Posting minutes the day before session isn't good enough and disenfranchises our voters. Without these minutes, I suppose we're expecting people to sit down and watch 8 hours of committee meetings. And frankly, I don't think that's realistic for working people in our county. When we approved this public hearing at EP, we were given no indication that the schedule would circumvent what is common legislative practice regarding public hearings. This hearing is too important for that. Just this afternoon, we already had a public speaker here to comment on Oak Orchard. This is the time that people are accustomed to speaking on these issues. This sewer district is the mechanism that allows industrial users to pay for their treatment and shield the taxpayers from those costs. If the minutes are any indication, I've got no confidence that the public will be duly informed with adequate notice of this public hearing. That's why I'll be voting no.
Legislator Meaker.
Thank you, Madam Chairwoman. As we're all aware, this is a request for a public hearing, and the public is the most important participant. Midwinter break for the majority of Onondaga County schools runs from February 16th through February 20th. This meeting was thrown in there on the 17th. Many families travel during this time, and many members of the public who may wish to speak could be unable to do so due to the date it's planned for the 17th. Thank you.
Thank you. Is there any other comment? Legislator Romeo.
I'm good, thank you.
Okay. Legislator May, or Leader May?
I guess just to sort of add to my colleagues' comments, this is a really important thing that we need to do. The formation of this district is to make sure and ensure that Micron pays its way through this process, not only at the beginning but out into perpetuity. I just want to make clear that the objection centers on the date, centers on the fact that a lot of people are going to go away. Our first chance to compare calendars was today, and I think that date's going to hit us pretty hard. So it's unfortunate that we have to vote no, but this is something we want to be a part of. So, and we recognize the importance of it, so thank you.
Absolutely. Is there any other comment or discussion?
I-
Legislator Romeo.
I just want to point out that just because there will be votes no against this, unlike votes in the past, I believe that voting against something because you wanting it to be better doesn't mean that you're against that project or against the idea of that project, but that you have information or things that you may require for that, and I appreciate that as somebody who has done that in the past.
Legislator Kelly.
To be clear, we're voting on a date and time of a public hearing.
Correct. Legislator Garland.
Thank you, Madam Chair. As a show of cooperation, would we be able to change the day and time to the day and time that our counterparts might offer?
Would anyone like to suggest an alternative date and time? Leader May.
Cannot suggest a time at this moment, and I know puts us all in a bit of a tough spot. I just want to point back to the fact that we approved this at Ways and Means without a date and time, which is kind of what led us here. I don't know if there's anything legally we can do to get past this, but I'm pretty sure we're going to have to set a date in this session in order to have a date. I think that's fair, right, guys? I mean, I can only speak for folks over here, but that's the position we're in.
Attorney?
If the body wants to propose and entertain an amendment to the resolution, we could do that during session. Otherwise, if we're not prepared to do that, the resolution would have to be considered at committees again.
Leader May?
Two options. One, we could recess and compare calendars. The other option is that we move the public hearing to either before session on the 3rd of March. If that's
There is already another public hearing scheduled at that time. However, we could do it after session.
How do we publish that time?
After session on March,
Yeah. I mean, not knowing how long session's going to run, how do we?
we would have to set it for several hours later.
Okay.
Or we could do it earlier in the morning at an early start time because the current one is scheduled for 11:30 a.m. that day. We could go with 9 a.m. Who would like to propose any other time? Anyone within the legislature, please raise your hand if you would like to propose.
May I?
Absolutely. Does anyone second that motion? Legislator Garland, all in favor? We are on a recess for 5 minutes. Legislator Brown.
Chairwoman, thank you. I would like to thank my colleagues for raising these concerns. We would like to expedite this process and go through with the public hearing that we have set. However, we think it makes more sense to send this item back to the Ways and Means Committee. That way we can, discuss it, and then we'll set the public hearing at the Ways and Means Committee as we should have done. So I would like to make a motion to send item 1 back to the Ways and Means Committee.
Is there a second to that motion?
Second.
Leader Hernandez? Is there further comment and discussion before we take that to vote? Leader May.
Good idea. I think we're trying to find something that works here, and I appreciate that from everyone. I think what we learned is that it requires 17 days, the public hearing, to when we pass the resolution. I'd like to perhaps add, this is inconvenient, I realize it, that we have a special meeting of Ways and Means sooner than later to make this decision. It's a quick one, but in order to meet those time requirements that we heard back there, we may need to do that.
In order for it to be a full resolution to call for the public hearing, my understanding from our attorney is that we will need to actually have a special legislative session to get the resolution passed if we do not name a date today. Because you're suggesting that we have a special meeting.
Well, rather than a
to
special
approve the
session, we have a special Ways and Means so that we're on track. So you set the date, and then we get it done.
Because there's the 17-day period.
And I got to look back and make sure that I'm on the right track here. I see. Thank you. Thank you.
Exactly. That's what I was referring to. Christy Smiley, could you please say that so that everyone can hear? Exactly. Which would require a special session to be set. Could I also please invite Sydney Johnson and/or Christy, whichever of you is best, to speak to the timing related how this interfaces with the larger project?
Good afternoon. So the question is about timing. So I think our concern is that the timeline that originally was in place was this would all be finished and up for vote in March. March is more aligned to our timeline as we think about introducing the industrial wastewater project, going through its review and having it ready for funding. So this would delay with a delay today, correct?
Yes. So again, this is just to set up the industrial district. This is not the industrial project, which will come later that Sid just talked about. So the public hearing needs to be done. At the second session, the adoption of the industrial district. It then needs to go to New York State, and then it needs to come back. So this is a multi-month process, and in line with moving the industrial project forward, it does delay this significantly and could impact the timing of when we could come back for funding for this.
Any further?
And let me just add one point. This is as we've explained, an administrative tool. It is only connected to the industrial project. And it's a critical tool because it's about how we have it structured for the user of the industrial wastewater project.
Thank you. Legislator Brown.
Thank you. After hearing from the CFO and Deputy County Executive, I think it makes the most sense that we go with the proposed plan that was put forward, and that way we won't throw off any of the timelines. So I guess I would like to make a motion to withdraw my motion to send it back to the Ways and Means Committee. if I'm able to do that.
There is no problem with that.
Do I have a second?
Leader May?
I'll second that if a second is required. We have discussed it as well. Our concerns stand. The fact that not only the committee process, but this public hearing is happening at a time when a big part of our community may not be available to participate, pay attention, and in the case of some of our members, maybe some of yours, I don't know, we will be prohibited from participating in this. But we think for the good of the order and the good of the project, we should move it forward as proposed.
Okay. And we will be committed to exploring within open meetings law ways that the public might be able to participate through written statements or otherwise in this meeting in light of your concerns.
Thank you.
Any further discussion? Okay, we are back to the initial motion on the floor related to the public hearing in connection with Oak Orchard Industrial Sewer District within Onondaga County Consolidated Sanitary District. Is there any further discussion? Seeing none, will the clerk please call a long call?
Legislator May? Yes. Meaker?
Yes.
Byrd?
Yes.
Thompson? Block? Eriksen?
Yes.
Romeo?
Yes.
Ryan?
Yes.
Denton?
Yes.
McCarron?
Yes.
Knapp? Bush? Kelly?
Yes.
Brown? Garland? Hernandez?
Yes.
Chairwoman?
Yes.
16 ayes, 1 absent, 0 opposed.
Resolution 1 is adopted.
District 7, Mr. Romeo?
None.
District 8, Mr. Ryan?
Madam Chairwoman, I rise and offer items 2 through 5 for consideration.
Amending the 2026 Onondaga County budget to accept grant funds from New York State Dormitory Authority's Community Resilience, Economic Sustainability, and Technology Program.
Legislator Ryan?
This is a resolution pertaining to React Snowblades. It's a system where the apparatus is attached to our current snowblades and is designed to move with the contours of the road. I'd like to thank former legislator and current state Senator Chris Ryan for securing these funds. He's done an outstanding job of bringing funds back to the county and hope to be saying his name frequently.
Thank you. Is there any discussion? Seeing none, may the clerk please call a long call.
Legislator May? Yes. Meaker?
Yes.
Byrd?
Yes.
Thompson? Block?
Absent.
Eriksen?
Yes.
Romeo?
Yes.
Ryan?
Yes.
Denton? Yes. McCarron?
Yes.
Knapp? Bush? Kelly?
Yes.
Brown?
Yes.
Garland? Hernandez?
Yes.
Chairwoman?
Yes.
16 ayes, 1 absent, 0 opposed.
Resolution 2 is adopted. Resolution number 3.
This resolution is in relation to maintaining snowmobile tracks. The county accepts the funds and then disperses them to the entities that maintain and monitor these trails.
Deputy Clerk, can you please read the title of?
Thank you, Chair. Amending the 2026 Onondaga County budget to accept grant funds from the New York State Office of Parks, Recreation, and Historic Preservation Snowmobile Program.
Excellent. Legislator Ryan, any further comment?
No.
Any discussion? Seeing none, may the clerk please call a long call.
Legislator May? Yes. Meaker?
Yes.
Byrd? Yes. Thompson? Yes. Block?
Absent.
Eriksen?
Yes.
Romeo?
Yes.
Ryan? Yes. Denton? Yes. McCarron?
Yes.
Knapp? Yes. Bush? Yes. Kelly?
Yes.
Brown? Yes. Garland? Yes. Hernandez?
Yes.
Chairwoman?
Yes.
16 ayes, 1 absent, 0 opposed.
Resolution 3 is adopted. Resolution 4.
Resolution 4 is personnel resolution.
This resolution is to create a veterinarian position over at the zoo. It was contracted work before, so we are simply using the funds that were used for that contract to create a position. They will open up for interviews, but have a great candidate in-house already, so they should be good set.
Thank you. Any discussion? Seeing none, may the clerk please call a long call.
Legislator May? Yes. Meaker?
Yes.
Burtis? Yes. Thompson? Yes. Block?
Absent.
Eriksen?
Yes.
Romeo?
Yes.
Ryan?
Yes.
Denton? Yes. McCarron? Yes. Knapp? Yes. Bush? Yes. Kelly?
Yes.
Brown?
Yes.
Garland? Yes. Hernandez?
Yes.
Chairwoman?
Yes.
16 ayes, 1 absent, 0 opposed.
Resolution 4 is adopted. Resolution 5.
Authorizing the purchase of real property located in the towns of Geddes and Onondaga.
Legislator Ryan?
This is a resolution to purchase land from the New York State Department of Transportation for $1. The plan for the property is to keep it forever wild. The residents of the district are in support of this. Myself, Legislator McCarron, and Legislator Thompson, who all represent portions of Geddes, discussed this in committee meeting, and we're in favor of it.
Excellent, thank you. Any discussion? Seeing none, will the clerk please call a long call?
Legislator May? Yes. Meaker?
Yes.
Burtis? Yes. Thompson? Yes. Block?
Absent.
Eriksen?
Yes.
Romeo?
Yes.
Ryan? Denton? Yes. McCarron? Yes. Knapp? Yes. Bush? Yes. Kelly?
Yes.
Brown? Yes. Garland? Yes. Hernandez?
Yes.
Chairwoman?
Yes.
16 ayes, 1 absent, none opposed.
Resolution 5 is adopted.
District 9? Chairwoman?
Thank you. Will Leader Hernandez please come take the chair? Deputy Clerk? I would like to request a waiver.
Are there any objections to this waiver? Any objections to the waiver? Okay. Being none, we will vote on the objection to the waiver. A to yes and no to deny the waiver. No objection. Oh, we can just move through. Doesn't say that on the screen.
Waiver approved.
Waiver moved.
Excellent. So I am here to present on regards to one of the outside appointments. We are all familiar that the legislature is responsible for making a number of appointments to boards and commissions and otherwise throughout our community. And there are a number of those that have some vacancies on them, including the Soil and Water Conservation District Board. They have some time-sensitive business that we believe it important to address these vacancies quickly, and so we have put forward 2 of our legislators to fill the roles there. You will find in your agenda packet Legislator Thompson and Legislator Bush resumes, who I would like to appoint to fill these positions.
Seeing none, the waiver is granted. We did that already. Confirming appointments to the Onondaga County Soil and Conservation District Board.
Is there any discussion in regards to these nominations? Seeing none, may the clerk please call a long call.
Legislator May? Yes. Meaker?
Yes.
Burtis? Yes. Thompson? Yes. Block?
Absent.
Eriksen?
Yes.
Romeo?
Yes.
Ryan? Yes. Denton? Yes. McCarron? Yes. Knapp? Yes. Bush? Yes. Kelly?
Yes.
Brown? Yes. Garland? Yes. Hernandez? Yes. Chairwoman?
Yes.
16 ayes, 1 absent, none opposed.
Resolution 6 is adopted.
District 10, Ms. Denton?
None.
District 11, Mr. McCarron?
None.
District 12, Mr. Knapp?
None.
District 13, Mr. Bush?
None.
District 14, Mr. Kelly?
None.
District 15, Mr. Brown?
Madam Chairwoman, I rise and offer items 7 through 12 and urge their adoption.
A resolution approving and directing the corrections of certain errors on tax bills.
Legislator Brown?
Thank you. So yes, we are voting to approve the tax bills for the town. So item 7 is towns of Camillus, Elbridge, Manlius, and Skaneateles, as listed in the agenda.
Is there any discussion on this resolution? Yes, Legislator Bush. Legislator Bush would like to co-sponsor. Any other discussion? Seeing none, will the clerk please call a long call?
Legislator May? Yes. Meaker?
Yes.
Burtis? Thompson? Block?
Absent.
Eriksen? Romeo?
Yes.
Ryan? Denton? Yes. McCarron? Knapp? Bush? Kelly?
Yes.
Brown? Garland? Hernandez?
Yes.
Chairwoman?
Yes.
16 ayes, 1 absent, 0 opposed.
Resolution 7 is adopted. Resolution 8.
A resolution approving and directing the correction of certain errors on tax bills.
Thank you, Madam Chairwoman. This is the same, but these ones, DeWitt and the town of Lysander.
Is there any discussion in regards to this resolution?
I would like to co-sponsor.
Leader Hernandez will co-sponsor. Any further discussion? Seeing none, will the clerk please call a long call?
Legislator May? Yes. Meaker? Yes. Burtis?
Yes.
Thompson?
Yes.
Block?
Absent.
Eriksen?
Yes.
Romeo?
Yes.
Ryan? Denton? Yes. McCarron? Knapp? Bush? Kelly?
Yes.
Brown? Garland? Hernandez?
Yes.
Chairwoman?
Yes.
16 ayes, 1 absent, none opposed.
Resolution 8 is adopted. Resolution 9.
A resolution directing a public hearing to consider increasing the income limitation relative to a partial exemption from real property taxes for persons 65 years of age and older.
Legislator Brown.
Yes, this is to pretty much enact a state resolution that is, charged with taking care of our seniors. I would urge its adoption.
Thank you. Is there any discussion? Seeing none, will the clerk please call a long call?
Legislator May? Yes. Meaker?
Yes.
Burtis? Yes. Thompson? Block?
Absent.
Eriksen?
Yes.
Romeo?
Yes.
Ryan? Denton? Yes. McCarron? Knapp? Bush? Kelly?
Yes.
Brown?
Yes.
Garland? Hernandez? Chairwoman?
Yes.
16 ayes, 1 absent, and opposed.
Resolution 9 is adopted. Resolution 10.
Confirming appointment to Onondaga County Board of Ethics.
Legislator Brown.
Yes, this appointment is of Judge Paris. We spoke at the Ways and Means Committee at length, and we're comfortable moving forward with this confirmation. We urge its adoption.
Thank you. Is there any discussion? Seeing none, would the clerk please call a long call?
Legislator May? Yes. Meaker?
Yes.
Burtis? Yes. Thompson? Yes. Block?
Absent.
Eriksen?
Yes.
Romeo?
Yes.
Ryan? Denton? Yes. McCarron? Knapp? Bush? Kelly?
Yes.
Brown? Garland? Hernandez? Chairwoman?
Yes.
16 ayes, 1 absent, unopposed.
Resolution 10 is adopted. Resolution 11.
Authorizing the settlement of the action filed with the Supreme Court of the State of New York, County of Onondaga, Byrd v. Onondaga County, et al.
Legislator Brown.
Yes, I would like to offer item 11 and urge its adoption. Thank you.
Thank you. Is there any discussion on this resolution? Seeing none, will the clerk please call a long call?
Legislator May? Yes. Meaker?
Yes.
Burtis? Yes. Thompson? Yes. Block?
Absent.
Eriksen?
Yes.
Romeo?
Yes.
Ryan? Denton? Yes. McCarron? Knapp? Bush? Kelly?
Yes.
Brown? Garland? Hernandez? Chairwoman?
Yes.
16 ayes, 1 absent, and opposed.
Resolution 11 is adopted. Legislator Eriksen is excusing himself from the room. Resolution 12.
Authorizing the settlement of the action filed in the U.S. District Court, Northern District, New York, Rivas v. Onondaga County, et al.
Legislator Brown.
As read in the agenda, I'd like to offer up item 12, urge its adoption.
Thank you. Is there any discussion? Seeing none, may the clerk please call a long call.
Legislator May? No. Meaker?
No.
Byrd?
No.
Thompson?
Yes.
Block?
Absent.
Romeo?
Yes.
Ryan? Denton?
Yes.
McCarron? Knapp? Bush? Kelly?
No.
Brown? Garland? Hernandez? Chairwoman?
Yes.
8 ayes, 7 opposed, 1 absent, 1 excused.
Resolution fails. Moving on. District 16.
District 16.
Madam Chairman, I rise and offer item 13 for consideration and adoption.
Thank you. Deputy Clerk?
A resolution authorizing certain deputy sheriffs of the Onondaga County Sheriff's Department to participate in the optional 20-year retirement plan provided for under Section 552 of the New York State Retirement and Social Security Law.
Legislator Garland.
Resolution stems from the New York State Senate Bill S-7384. It is essentially a corrective measure to fix a clerical error from the previous administration that left 6 of our sheriff's deputies in the wrong retirement plan. By passing this, we are ensuring that officers, specifically Deputies Dorn, Hunt, Lorenzini, Lopez, Fessinger, and Van Duzen, receive the 20-year benefits they were originally entitled to.
Thank you, Legislator Garland. Is there any discussion? Seeing none, may the clerk please call a long call.
Legislator May? Yes. Meaker?
Yes.
Byrd?
Yes.
Thompson? Block?
Absent.
Eriksen?
Yes.
Romeo?
Yes.
Ryan? Denton? Yes. McCarron? Knapp? Bush? Kelly? Brown? Garland? Hernandez? Chairwoman?
Yes.
16 ayes, 1 absent, none opposed.
Resolution 13 is adopted.
District 17, Leader Hernandez.
Good afternoon, Chairwoman. I stand and I rise and offer resolution number 14, and I urge its adoption.
And request a waiver.
Requesting a waiver? I request a waiver of
A request a waiver. Are there any objections to the waiver? As a reminder, this is because it did not go through committee. Are there any objections to this waiver? Leader May? Is there a second to the objection? Yes, okay. We will take a vote. Clerk, will you please call a long call on the waiver specifically?
Legislator May?
As a reminder, a yes vote means that it is, or yeah, a yes vote means it is waived, a no vote means that it is not waived. Thank you. Clerk, could you please restart the long call?
Legislator May? No. Meaker?
No.
Byrd? No. Thompson? Block?
Absent.
Eriksen?
Yes.
Romeo?
Yes.
Ryan? Denton? Yes. McCarron? Knapp? No. Bush? No. Kelly?
No.
Brown?
Yes.
Garland? Hernandez? Chairwoman?
Yes.
9 ayes, 7 opposed, 1 absent.
The waiver is approved. The Deputy Clerk, please read the title to this resolution.
Thank you, Chairwoman. Memorializing the United States Congress and Onondaga County to protect our neighbors from misconduct and overreach by federal immigration officials.
Leader Hernandez.
You know, we heard a lot today, and there was a lot, you can read that's in that resolution. So I'm just going to add one more piece of information that's vital. If undocumented immigrants fear that any contact with authorities will lead to deportation, they are less likely to report crimes, act as witnesses, or seek emergency medical care, or any resources that they need to live their daily lives here in this country. And the way we are, the way ICE is operating right now is just an injustice to all.
Thank you, Leader Hernandez. Is there any discussion? Leader May.
Thank you, Chairwoman. Before I say anything, let me be clear on, I think, the most important point, which is we certainly share the sadness and frustration of recent events. They include potentially avoidable losses of life, families being separated, and all kinds of other things. It's tragic, but it has nothing to do with the scope and authority of this legislature. There were some very good reasons why Senator Ryan and I worked together very hard to end memorializing resolutions 4 or 5 years ago here at the legislature. Too many times we both learned the hard way, because these things go both ways, that the political nature of these resolutions accomplish nothing but long-term hard feelings, resentment, and distraction from what we're really supposed to be doing here. The issue we're talking about is a very serious matter. Today, we absolutely will not trivialize it by responding to the political nature of this resolution. We believe there's a higher road. Thank you.
Thank you, Leader May. Leader Hernandez.
I want to clarify one thing to make sure we are aware of the fact that it is okay to memorialize resolutions, that it was just a handshake and it's nothing illegal that we're doing by memorializing this resolution.
Thank you for that clarification. Legislator McCarron.
Yeah, I'd like to say I don't think there's any allegation or assertion that it is illegal to memorialize a resolution. It was just simply mutually agreed upon by both sides in order to promote more unified legislature. I'm going to be voting against this for a variety of reasons. As the only former law enforcement member in the legislature, I can say that Onondaga County, our sheriff, has made it clear what his position is relative to how he will interact with federal immigration officials. And I think it is well beyond the scope of what we do here to promote or pass this resolution. I think that it just furthers a political agenda. It was mentioned earlier that we are a community of immigrants, and while I acknowledge and respect that, it's built this great community, we are also a community of law and order. And we have extremes in this resolution forbidding any assistance to federal law enforcement. I just think it creates a situation where we're further dividing our community, when we need to bring our community together. And it's for that reason I'll be voting against this.
Legislator Brown.
Thank you, Chairwoman. I do want to speak. I was not civilian law enforcement, but as a former military police officer for the 423rd Military Police Company based out of Shoreham, Long Island, I think that we're in a moment right now in our history that we weren't in 5 years ago. Things are different now than they were then. Our community is looking for their leaders, their legislators, to stand up and protect them. You know, we get calls from people saying that, they're afraid to go to school because they're afraid of, what might happen if they go. And right now, at this particular moment in history, on February 3rd, 2026, I think our community deserves to know that their county legislators stand with them. I'm proud to stand with them. In fact, I'd like to co-sponsor this resolution if that's possible. But I think that right now, more than ever, our immigrant neighbors, all of our neighbors need to know that we stand with them hand in hand. And I urge my colleagues to vote on this resolution in favor. Thank you.
Co-sponsorship noted. Legislator McCarron.
I'd just like to say that I understand what the other side of the argument is, but I just think it reflects, what some legislators on the other side have promoted, which is defunding the police for quite some time now, and I just think this is another shot at law enforcement overall.
Is there further discussion? Legislator Eriksen.
I'll be supporting this legislation, and to bring it back to a local level, this is not some vanity piece where we're commenting on national issues that don't affect us. This can absolutely affect us. I will be supporting this because after the recent events in Minnesota, where we've seen federal agents shoot non-threatening individuals in their car. We've seen federal agents disarm and shoot an individual multiple times in the street in broad daylight. I am no longer confident that my constituents can physically survive an encounter with federal law enforcement as they are acting in Minnesota. It is important that they see that we understand that, and it's important that we express that concern, that our constituents need to be safe. That is what this vote is about to me, and that is how this matters on a local level. Our constituents need to see us looking out for their safety. Thank you.
Legislator Kelly.
Thank you, Chairwoman. I want to lead with this. As a physical therapist, I work with young families from all over the world every day to walk, run, jump, and play. Not once has it crossed my mind what somebody's immigration status was. We're a nation of immigrants, and it's part of what makes this country great. This body, to Leader May's point, has a long-standing policy of not producing toothless memorializing resolutions. The mere presence of this resolution opens a dangerous precedent. We cannot be expected to comment on everything that happens in other governments. Otherwise, we've created an environment where, without direct condemnation, we implicitly support every action taken by the president or taken by the governor. I suppose my colleagues may condemn ICE, but they really think that we ought to take Greenland while we're at it. So how can I think any differently based on the lack of a memorializing resolution telling me so? We're all lucky to live in a country where people have the right to free speech, the right to peacefully assemble, the right to bear arms, the right to due process, among others. These rights shall not be infringed. Law enforcement of all levels needs to meet the utmost of high standards to defend those rights for all of us. Violent criminals who are here illegally should be given no quarter. Now, to be clear, studies from the conservative Cato Institute suggest that immigrants commit crimes, at rates far below that of native-born American citizens. I want to be very clear about that. And as a conservative, I'm skeptical that a vast government bureaucracy rounding people up is the most efficient use of resources. But this resolution is so far out of scope for this body. Frankly, it's out of scope for the legislative branch to overstep the executive branch, even at the county level. Speaking personally, I want our law enforcement to simply meet its legal and statutory requirements. It's not fair to the taxpayer to ask for anything else. I would love for someone from the Sheriff's Department or the DA's office to speak to the Public Safety Committee about what those requirements are. That's not what my colleagues have opted to do today. They've opted for empty words over substantive dialogue. We could talk about potential changes occurring at the state level that are being discussed. From my research, it sounds like it's something to do with a 287G agreement, to be clear, which does not exist in Onondaga County. Before I finish, I've grown sick and tired of the partisan and divisive rhetoric that has come to dominate local politics. I am a person, not a partisan. Sometimes Democrats have good ideas, sometimes Republicans have bad ones. I unequivocally deny the idea that just because you know what letters somebody has after their name means you know everything that they think. That sort of thinking is toxic. It does nothing to unify us in Onondaga County and only serves to drive us apart. I encourage all of us to be better than that. Thank you.
Legislator Ryan. Legislator Denton.
Thank you, Chairwoman. I support sponsor. I support this resolution calling out the misconduct and overreach by the federal government, and I encourage all my colleagues to rethink their votes and support this resolution, because what's happening in our country and our community is wrong. I feel this is important. As leaders in our community, we use every opportunity available to us to speak out against these cruel and inhumane actions that are violating our very rights that you're mentioning and costing people their lives. I would like to see this body stand together and pass this resolution. Thank you very much.
Is there any further discussion? Legislator Thompson. Thank you, Legislator Thompson. Further discussion. Legislator Garland.
I would like to co-sponsor this.
Legislator Romeo. Co-sponsor as well. Legislator Eriksen.
Co-sponsor as well, please.
Are there any additional co-sponsors to this legislation? Thank you. Legislator Byrd.
Thank you, Madam Chairwoman. And just to go back and talk a little bit, so for the past 2 years, we did have a handshake on memorializing resolutions for this reason, putting one side against the other. When I sat in that chair, the first thing I said is, it's my hope that we could do it together. Now, that was more difficult than I knew, but that was my desire. To be clear, I stand with men and women of law enforcement. Also, I'm saddened by murder. Someone choosing to take somebody else's life is sad. Now, this resolution is too broad, Leader, and it's too sweeping for me to agree with. I like and need detail, and everybody here knows that. So today's a tough day. Today's a tough day in America and with these microphones. But, you know, we're not Onondaga County. I understand the argument, the discussion, that we are leaders and that people want to hear from us. I understand. But this is a long conversation that needs to happen, in my opinion. And we're not Minneapolis. The governor played a role in that. The mayor played a role in that, asking people to resist law enforcement. Now, we, as a locale, we have not done that. We have not said that. And the sheriff has talked to this issue. We just saw the DA speak to this issue. We do not have a resolution in front of us or through committee or any other thing to try to help in this thing. We're just kind of giving people a one-over on where we're at, and for me, on this side, it's too broad. It's important for me to show compassion. It's important for me personally as a legislator to show grace. Law enforcement has one job to do, and as the sheriff told me, that's to put bad people off the street, take them out. That is their job. This is a county, a state, a country of laws. The laws matter. This is too broad for me. It's just the general, anti-ICE. And there is a lot to criticize, for sure. But in my position, I do not like to manage or call balls and strikes. Obviously, we all understand that this is a terrible moment in the country. Now, at least one legislator here has publicly said that he thinks we should F ICE. Sorry. And that is not my opinion or my personality. We need to have more facts. Legislator, and that is my deep belief. So today, we're just going to disagree on this memorializing resolution, I guess. Today, I stand here not in my mind as a politician. I stand here as a public servant, a citizen, and of the United States and of the great state of New York. And I'm standing here for my family and for other families, and I am concerned about all the families that are here. You know, New York State is working on this legislation now. I'm just not sure why we would need to bring this up. The new legislation would actually eliminate all 287Gs is what it is, which is an agreement with ICE. We do not have one. Of all the 62 counties in New York State, only 14 have currently gone into that agreement. And so the point is, while we can show concern, and I am concerned, a higher legislative body than ourselves is working on this currently. As I've said, the public has heard from our district attorney. Our sheriff is not shy. He will also chime in and give his opinion, and I appreciate it.
Thank you, Legislator Burtis. Is there any further discussion? Seeing none, will the clerk please call a long call?
Legislator May? No. Meaker?
No.
Burtis?
No.
Thompson? Block? Eriksen?
Yes.
Romeo?
Yes.
Ryan? Denton?
Yes.
McCarron? Knapp? Bush? Kelly?
Yes. No. Sorry.
Brown? Garland? Hernandez?
Yes.
Chairwoman?
Yes.
9 ayes, 7 opposed, 1 absent.
Resolution 14 is adopted.
District 1, Leader May?
Thank you. I rise and offer item, I have the old resolution. What's the number?
Waiver, you need to request a waiver.
Yes. I'm requesting a waiver for item 15. Thank you.
Are there any objections to this waiver? Seeing none, the waiver is granted.
Confirming appointment of Ethan LaMontagne as legislative aide of the Onondaga County Legislature.
Leader May.
Thank you. I couldn't be happier to propose Ethan for this task. We look forward to having him back here helping us with our legislative agenda. Thank you. Consideration, everyone.
Is there any discussion? Legislator Meaker.
Sponsor, please.
Noted. Is there any further discussion? Seeing none, will the clerk please call a long call?
Legislator May? Yes. Meaker?
Yes.
Burtis?
Yes.
Thompson? Block?
Absent.
Eriksen?
Yes.
Romeo?
Yes.
Ryan?
Yes.
Denton? Yes. McCarron? Yes. Knapp? Yes. Bush? Yes. Kelly? Yes. Brown?
Yes.
Garland? Hernandez?
Yes.
Chairwoman?
Yes.
16 ayes, 1 absent, none opposed.
Resolution 15 is adopted. We will now consider the local law on the agenda. Will the deputy clerk please read the title of Local Law A?
A local law relating to certain fees collected by the Onondaga County Health Department.
Legislator Romeo.
Thank you, Chairwoman. There's a number of services that the County Health Department provides that they have a fee for. This law updates a handful of those fees to be in line with New York State guidelines, so hoping to update those numbers.
Thank you. Is there any discussion? Seeing none, will the clerk please call a long call?
Legislator May? Yes. Meaker?
Yes.
Burtis? Yes. Thompson? Yes. Block?
Absent.
Eriksen?
Yes.
Romeo?
Yes.
Ryan? Yes. Denton? Yes. McCarron? Yes. Knapp? Yes. Bush? Yes. Kelly?
Yes.
Brown?
Yes.
Garland? Hernandez?
Yes.
Chairwoman?
Yes.
16 ayes, 1 absent, none opposed.
Local Law A has passed. There is no unfinished business from the previous meeting on the agenda and no announcement from the chair. Leader Hernandez, if you would make a motion to adjourn.
Yes, I make a motion to adjourn this meeting until March 3rd.
Are there any objections? Seeing none, we are adjourned.